But now a lot of Scourge coming in for Savior. Savior seeing this, spawning a lot of Overlords as well. And now Pusan is not, there's too much for Pusan to deal with. And now here come the Corsairs. Corsairs are going to get taken down by Scourge. One of the Scourge goes down, or one of the Corsairs is going to go down. And the other two Corsairs are going to escape here with their lives, just barely. But that was very, very close to being absolutely terrible for Pusan. And Savior scouting that out excellently with that Overlord in the middle of the map. That was so key for him right there. That scouting information was absolutely essential there. Able to bring out a lot of Scourge, able to save all those Overlords. And he's also he actually almost seemed like he expected Corsair DT after he was scouted out. So good play by counterplay there. Savior reacting pretty much perfectly there and stopping this DT harass. The DT just trying to go to the natural expansion, but going to get found out by more Overlords and more Mutalisks are being produced, which is kind of odd. Don't really see too many Mutalisks these days in ZVP. But if Pusan had stopped building Corsairs, that could be effective. But I'm sure Pusan does already have that Archon. He's got a lot of Templar, or not a lot of Templar, but a lot of Gateways coming up right now. So he's sure that he can produce a couple more Corsairs, which he is, and possibly also produce a few more Dragoons just to try and stop some of the sniping that we see going on against this High Templar. Savior also looks like he's trying to take the base at the bottom left. That is going to be the 6:30, 7 o'clock main. Here come the Mutalisks into the main. They're going to get greeted by a cannon and several Corsairs, so this is probably not going to be very effective. I think there's 3 Corsairs right now, some Scourge in the air as well. We could see some old school Mutalisk absorbing Corsair damage while the Scourge move in and just Scourge the hell out of the Corsairs. But that's just it is very, very old school and doesn't, Savior already backed off well away from that. Going to play a little bit more passively here, not going to press the issue. Knows that he's getting his 4th base up and running. If he can, just going to continue to macro up. Haven't seen Hydras. Savior is so weird. He goes for this 5-hatch build, but he doesn't produce Hydras out of it. I think this is the second time I've seen him do this. Him against Flash, I think he did this too, or I think that's what it was. And here comes a lot of Zealots and an Archon pushing out right now for Pusan. That Archon is going to be absolutely important to try and stop these Mutalisks, but there are Corsairs in the air as well. So Corsairs and Archon very effective against Mutalisks. So Scourge could be effective against the Corsairs, could take them down. But still, that Archon is still a huge problem. 2 Archons now. It's still a huge problem for the Maestro to deal with. And it looks like Pusan might be trying to get into the middle, but there are a lot of sunken colonies there. Here comes some Scourge. Scourge being picked off by some of the Archons. 3 Archons now, actually. So there's a ton of Archons in the air right now. And it looks like Pusan's actually going to back off. Seeing those 4 sunken colonies behind a pretty solid wall there, a Zerg wall. And it looks like he might actually push towards the 6 o'clock position, try and catch Savior out of position. Savior is moving forces to the area. It does have 3 sunken colonies as well as a pretty effective wall there as well. So Pusan might be getting denied yet again. It looks like Pusan's trying to take this time to take his base at 11:30, but cannon's coming up, but they're going to be too late. Too late, Pusan. Savior already scouted this out, and he's already sent some Zerglings into the area. Going to do a lot of damage there. Going to stop that base from going up, at least for now, until some reinforcements come in. But Pusan coming in for an attack at the 6 o'clock position. 2 Archons and a whole lot of Zealots, but they're not able to get in among the sunken colonies at all yet. They might be able to take down the Hydros Den, though. That could be a huge hurt in terms of the tech. But the thing is that Savior hasn't really produced any Hydras. It doesn't look like that was really important to his build at all. Although with that Hydras Den now he can move in among the sunken colonies. 1 sunken colony goes down. Still a lot of Zealots alive. This is amazing. Still so many Zealots alive. Just so many Zealots in the air right now. And the Corsair still taking shots at the Mutalisks, still doing a lot of damage. 2 of the Archons have gone down. 1 Archon left. 2 sunken colonies go down. 1 sunken colony left. That 3rd Archon finally goes down. The Mutalisks are still in the air. Corsair still trying to pick them off. 3rd Corsair comes in the area, but it's not going to be enough. That Corsair is going to go down, but a lot of the Mutalisks go down. A lot of the Mutalisks are very highly damaged, and a couple Zealots left, able to wreak pretty much havoc on this base. All the drones have stopped mining unless they were moved towards the main, which is possible. Actually, it looks like they were just moved out, and now they're being brought back. But Savior overall, since he didn't lose that many drones, if they were brought back, it doesn't look like he lost too many. Savior doing a great job of defending there. He loses the Hydros Den, which could be important in most Zerg 5-hatch builds today, but not the Savior 5-hatch build. The Savior 5-hatch build doesn't depend upon Hydralisks at all. It's Beta Ling, really. He's also getting his Hive Tech up now, so we'll see some Defiler play from Savior, which is awesome. Defiler play from Savior is his move. Defilers is the move of Savior. It's great. And once again, some Zerglings coming into the 11:30 position, able to stop that 3rd base from going up yet again. Yeah, and my voice is, yeah, whatever. I'm fine. Then finally some Zealots coming in at 11:30. Going to clear away these Zealots, so that way maybe, just maybe, he can finally get this up and running. I hope Savior stops sending like 6 Zerglings into that area when there's 5 Zealots, because they're just going to die needlessly. Although no, those were Mutalisks, and those Mutalisks are going to be very effective against Zealots. No more Archons that I can see, not many cannons. There's a Corsair finally. But yeah, Savior's been playing pretty damn well overall now. 2 Stargates now, so we're going to see some heavy Corsair play now. But it almost seems like this is exactly the wrong time to go for the 2 gates. He's going to get, or the 2 Stargates. He's going to get these 2 Stargates, going to get a lot of Corsairs out right at the time that Savior is switching to Hive Tech, to Defiler Tech. Those Corsairs are not going to be very effective against Defiler Tech. Disruption Web doesn't really do too much against against Plagues, against Dark Swarm, so this seems like the absolute wrong time, and I don't really foresee too much else being produced out of those Stargates anytime soon. Although this is a big map, could have a huge macro game, in which case, like, could see big air come into play, but that's so far down the road that not even worth really, yeah, just too far down the road right now. A couple Lurkers have been produced at the 6 o'clock position. We'll do a good job of defending there if there isn't an Observer. I know an Observer was down there earlier, and there is an Observer falling around with Pusan's army, but yeah, so Pusan should be okay with attacking that region, since he does have observers in several different spots. And finally, Pusan's going to start taking down some of these overlords that have been in the middle of the map, getting supreme scouting information on his troop movements, which has hurt him a lot, I think. The DTs being scouted out, and Savior really knew where Pusan was attacking and with what at pretty much every turn. And now Pusan is going to the 6 o'clock position again, but there's a lot of Corsairs out. Now the Mutalisks are going to be more or less useless, and the Scourge aren't really going to even be able to do much either, because there is a critical mass right now. We did not see a fleet beacon, so there isn't any Disruption Web right now. Otherwise, Disruption Web could be useful against those Sunken Colonies and things. That could be very, very effective. But we see yet another very good Zerg wall in, and this time the Lurkers make it so that way Pusan doesn't even want to try hacking through that Hydra's den to break through. We see an Ultras cavern right now, so maybe this was for Ultras, not for Defilers. And a lot of these Scourge are getting picked off carelessly by some of these Corsairs, as they were just pretty much standing there. And these cannons are going to be enough right now to stop these Zerglies. But there are Mutalisks coming in as well at this 3rd base for Pusan. Pusan really needs to defend it. He needs to get his forces back. It looks like he is pulling back right now, and I'm going to be able to stop any more harassment there. But Pusan has to be running out of resources at his main. It's got to be pretty close to mined out at this point. And that is an absolute huge fleet of Corsairs, by the way. Going to be able to pick off a lot of Overlords right now. But one good... I haven't even seen the Defiler mound right now. And the Corsairs and the Mutalisks having a little bit of fight there. Some Scourge coming in there, picking off a few of the Scourge, thank God. Otherwise, that could have been really bad for Savior. Savior carelessly losing a couple more Mutalisks here, not noticing that they were taking damage from those Archons. Shuttle has been produced here as well, so this is going to be a late transition in a Corsair Reaver.